Hi guys, Gray Buck here. Today we're going to talk about the St. Lawrence River. This was the last Major League Fishing Pro Circuit event. Coming into this event, I was in 82nd place. I was trying to work my way up. It was a long shot to make the title championship. I needed to come in the top. I knew it was going to need to be top like 2, maybe probably win it to have a shot at really making the championship. You had to come in the top 50 for the season. And I came up just short of that, unfortunately, but I was able to slide up. I caught, what I ended up in, 19th place, I believe. So it was a good derby. It was just, I wasn't quite able to slide in that top 10. We're going to start today talking about my practice, and then we're going to talk about day one. So basically, we're at the St. Lawrence River out of Messina, which is the far northeast end of the river. I've never been there before. I've launched a lot of times out of Clayton, and when I do that, I usually make the run out to the lake if they let us. This tournament, they weren't letting us make the run to the lake, and to go from Messina to basically where our off limits was roughly 90 miles, maybe a little bit more. So it was a really far run. Coming into this, the water temp when we got up there was high 60s, low 70s, depending on where you were at. Which is about typical. And being the last week of July, I really thought these fish were going to be set up out deep. So I really focused on that. With 2 days of practice, you really had to hammer down and really get after them quick. So I started in Clayton the first day, kind of an area I'm fairly familiar with. Ran around there a bunch. Had one spot that I caught a 3-pounder and a 4 1/4 off of, which ended up being the 2 biggest bass I caught the entire practice. It was crazy. I was catching a lot of them that were a pound, pound and a half, maybe 2 pounds out deep, but I just could not find a school of them. So it kind of was not going my way. Day 2 of practice, I decided I was going to launch in Waddington. I worked from Waddington down to Chippewa Bay area, where I was fishing in that section. It was same deal, kind of tough. Wasn't catching anything big. I again focused out deep, just really trying to find that mother load because they're out there. I knew they were out there. I just didn't know exactly where it was going to happen at, and I never got it going. So unfortunately, with 2 days of practice, we were practicing. It was like 5 o'clock until I think 8:30 at night or 9 o'clock at night. We could be on the water, and I was going dark to dark, just going hard, really trying to find these fish and not being on anything. I had to kind of go into day one just kind of guessing. I decided I was going to make that long run to Clayton. I had that one hump I told you guys about that I caught that 3 and 4 1/4 off of. That was on that Z-Man trick shot, just drop shotting it out there. And I took my Bass Cat here, that Mercury motor, and made the run. I put it down. I believe it was 76 miles to my starting spot. And it took me 1 hour and 8 minutes. I was running between 70 and 77 was the fastest I hit. Burned a ton of fuel. I had to fuel up at the gas dock that day. And I got to my first spot, started drop shotting there, it wasn't happening. So I ran to another spot. It's kind of a current break. It's like a real narrow area. A lot of current going through there. There's a rock jetty sort of thing that sticks out, or not jetty, but natural rock, bedrock that sticks out in current break. And I was fishing around it. Michael Neal was right there. I didn't see him catch any, but I got one there that was like a 2-pounder. Hit another spot, came back there again, caught another 2-pounder. And at this point, we were starting to get a little bit late in the day, and I was kind of freaking out. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I kind of started to run around a little bit. And I was going in 2016, I found this stretch of docks that had some fish on it. And I pull up to this one dock, start flipping it. I was using this Z-Man. It's the Palmetto Bug. I was taking a Hayabusa, it's the FPP straight. It's a 4-aught hook. This is just the regular version that I was using. I wasn't using the HD. And I was actually, it's not this exact one, but I cleaned my boat out and I don't have anything out right now. So this is what I had. It was an Angler Tungsten weight. I was using a 1/2 ounce. It's got that Oxy Armor coating, so you can't chip it. It's going to stay black as long as you use it, no matter how many rocks you hit or anything. But what happened was I started flipping these docks, and I caught a 2.5. I kept flipping, caught a 5.5 pound largemouth. And I hooked that sucker. I flip in there with my favorite rods, the Big Sexy. Hits the bottom, and I hop it once, and it just goes, tunk, and I set the hook, and this thing started like going out to the middle. I'm like, oh man, like it was a full grown one. Biggest largemouth I've ever caught on the St. Lawrence River. And then I kept flipping down there, and I caught another one that was like 2.5. So at that point, I had filled out a limit, and I guess I was doing it 3:15 on day one. So I knew I had some time to make the run back. I didn't have a long day that day. I was flight 2, but running in the cat, you cover a lot of water quick, especially going with the current then. And I ran back and fished a couple things on the way. I ended up calling out both those 2 little smallmouth I had, and I ended up having 15.25, which wasn't great, but after the practice I had, I was kind of content with it. I knew it wasn't going to put me in a great position. I was real mad going in that I thought I was going to need 17, 18 to be in the top 50 or whatever. And with 15, I thought I was going to be in hundreds. So I pull up, weigh my fish, and started looking at the results. I'm like, that's actually not going to be as bad as I thought. And I think I ended up being in 71st, 2nd, 3rd, something like that. So I was above the halfway field, and knew going into day 2, it gave me a shot at actually sliding up, getting into that top 50 and making day 3, which was obviously the ultimate goal. So I'll show you a couple of little fish catch videos here, and then if you can do me a favor, check out day 2 then afterwards, and then day 3 up as well. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll be back up on the St. Lawrence for the Toyota series here in 2 or 3 weeks. So should be a good time. If you have any questions, like I said, I was flipping that for largemouth, the palmetto bug, watermelon red, and then I was taking a Goby Bryant trick shot. That's a 3.25 inch version. Taking a Hayabusa size 1 drop shot hook and it's nose hooking it. Angler tungsten 1/2 ounce weight to get those smallies to bite. So day 2 and 3, I changed up some tactics. So you're gonna want to check that one out. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.